Cool? Tap them. Start with B flat. 1 and 2 and tap note 10. Quarter notes, 2 quarter notes per pitch. Contra B flat and ready and go. To the very end, please. The last tempo, 185. 4/8 notes per pitch. 1 and ready and. I'm at the tempo right before that. 2, 4/8 notes. 1 and 2 and ready and go. And new tempo. 1 and 2 and start the octave. 1 and 2 and ready and. Parts, please. Arouse, back to half minute. It's 2, 1 in lush, and tune it up. And 2 parts, 2 parts. Number 7, number 7. Pretty well to 2. So pretty well tonight. Good. Questions on tonight? Easy, take it easy. We're going to walk off the stage in reverse order that we would walk. Good evening, everybody. If I turn it on.
Good evening, everybody. My name is Mr. Russell, and on behalf of Ms. Jakes, myself, and all the students, we'd like to welcome you to our Music in the Schools Month concert. Tonight you will hear the band and the jazz ensemble. On Tuesday night, we have the orchestra and choir celebrating music in our Schools Month, which is a national celebration. Schools all around the country are celebrating the wonderful work that students are doing in the schools. Before we play our first tune, I thought there's a little explanation to go along with it. If you would look at your program notes, please. Cool, you'll have a test at the end. This piece is called Benjamin Franklin and the Art of Music. It's a really cool and interesting piece that I found, 10 years ago. We all know who Ben Franklin was. We all know what he did. We know that he invented, actually, I didn't know this. Did you know he invented the swim fins? I didn't know that. Did you know he invented the odometer? I didn't know that. Bifocals I did know because I'm wearing them, so I do know about that. But he was also a very, very avid musician himself. So this piece is going to be divided into 3 parts. And the first part is actually going to be a melody that he wrote for his wife on their 12th wedding anniversary. You could actually go online and Google it and hear musicologists singing the entire tune. The second part of the tune is written based upon an instrument that he invented. And the instrument is called a glass harmonica. Not harmonica, harmonica. And while this isn't it's a pretty good representation. If you would picture these bowls that are made out of metal, they would be made out of glass. And we've all done that cool thing with at the supper table, and you put your water and all that kind of stuff, and you make sound. And depending upon the size of your glass and how much water, it makes a different pitch. Well, he turned that into a musical instrument. He had several of these, and at a much grander scale. And he developed a foot pump, almost kind of like the old-fashioned sewing machine. So as you're playing this instrument, you're pumping it, it turns the wheels, it turns the bowls, and then with your fingers, you wet your fingers, and you can play the different pitches. It has a really cool sound, and it's called the glass harmonica. And then the third part is kind of even niftier. He was also big into math. And have you ever heard of a magic square? It's kind of not the Rubik's Cube, the Sudoku thing. But if you look at your paper, you'll see a box. And in the box, you'll see 9 numbers. Those, in this case, what it means is for the magic square, if you look at those numbers, in whatever direction you go, the numbers add up to 15. If you go across, the numbers add up to 15. If you go down, the numbers add up to 15. And if you do the 2 big diagonals, the numbers add up to 15. So, in his cool, neat way, he was like, how can I relate this to music? So, if you know anything about music, a lot of music is based upon scales and scale degrees, 1 through 9. So here's the scale, 1 through 9. Ready, everybody? Play the B-flat major scale, 1 through 9. Ready, and... Cool. So that's the major scale. Lots of our music is built upon that. And what he's done is he's assigned each of those pitches to those numbers there, and it creates a tone row or a melody. Now play it as the melody, please. One piece. Ready, and... So you will hear that melody played during the third part of the song. There'll be a distinct break, and we'll go into the third part. Cool? Just to talk a little bit and get you sometimes it's nice to know a little bit about the piece before we play it. So we hope you enjoy Ben Franklin and the Art of Music. Our next piece is Lullaby to the Moon. I'll give you a moment, ask you to read the program notes. It really helps you kind of put yourself in the right mode. This piece is written from the perspective of the moon and the role that the moon plays in our lives and in just this outer space kind of thing. Brian Balmich is a relatively young composer. We hope you enjoy Lullaby to the Moon.
Mrs. Jakes, the other band director here. We really appreciate you all being here tonight. The piece I'm going to conduct with you is one of my favorite pieces for concert band. You'll see in the program notes it's called Cedar Canyon Sketches. And the composer, whose name is a woman, Carol Britton Chambers, she's a contemporary composer from Texas. And she describes this piece as sort of a journey through the hill country of Texas. So if you're familiar at all with Texas, it's the area sort of west of Austin and San Antonio, kind of that little area. I've never been to that part of Texas, but based on this piece, it sounds like it would be a pretty amazing place to go. So please enjoy Cedar Canyon Sketches. very much. We are going to take a quick little minute to switch over from concert band to jazz band. While we're doing that up here, we are going to talk to you about a couple of things that we have coming up in the music department. We're going to do a 50-50 raffle, all of those things. So, yep, you guys can go ahead. You can move while I talk. Go ahead. Chairs are coming over here, okay? We gotta get the piano out, yeah, like, sort of. Okay, so one of the things that we have going on this spring is we are doing a calendar raffle. So maybe, hopefully some of you have seen my emails about that if you're on my email list. But we are doing this calendar raffle, and what it'll be for the month of June. We're going to select all of the raffle tickets at our June concert. But what we're doing right now is collecting donations to go on our calendar raffle. So if you're not familiar with the calendar raffle, probably many of you are, but we will have all of these prizes. There'll be prizes on each day of the month of June. We will then sell raffle tickets. We draw your raffle ticket, and it's June 19th. You get the prize that's on June 19th. So what we're asking from our families in the music department is if you are able to make donations of items that we can put on the calendar raffle. Gift cards are great. If you got a gift card for Christmas that you're like, I'm never going to use this, we will happily take that donation. We would love that donation. Donations of items. I ran a calendar raffle years ago. A parent worked at a dentist's office, and the dentist donated an electric toothbrush, like a nice electric toothbrush. It's a pretty sweet prize to get if you got that, right? So you can be creative. If you have family members that have a business and they would like to make a donation, that would be great. We will also take cash donations for the calendar raffle as well, and use that to either buy some prizes or even put some cash dates on the calendar. So we are collecting donations for the calendar raffle until the very end of March. So please consider sending in donations with your students, with your kids, or you can bring them to the school and give them to the main office and they'll pass them on to us, or hand them directly to us. That's great too. So please consider supporting us. We would really appreciate it if you are able to help us out with this fundraiser that we have. We're hoping that it'll be a great fundraiser, a good opportunity for students to get some money, put some money into their accounts when they are selling raffle tickets. And so we're looking for it to be a great success. So we appreciate any help that you can give us. Are we going to do 50-50 now? Yes, great. Mr. Denio is going to come up and pick the 50-50 raffle. So if you bought a raffle,
All right, I think we are ready to go. Thank you for your patience. The group in front of you is the Jazz Ensemble. We've had a pretty busy week. I kind of loaded it on them for this week. Monday night we performed at the school board meeting, which was really cool and really fun. But to top that off, yesterday we were at the Governor's Executive Council meeting in Concord. We were invited to come and play along with the chamber choir to celebrate music in our schools month. This was a time period where the governor recognized music as an essential element to a child's education and proclaimed the month of March Music in Our Schools Month. So we have 3 tunes prepared for you. The first tune is a pretty standard jazz tune written by the famous tenor saxophone player John Coltrane. It's entitled Mr. P.C. So our next tune, we're going to slow it down a little bit, change styles. It's a more of a Latin feel. It's called Moongazer, written by a fairly new composer, Robert Beasley. I apologize for not letting you know, in this genre of music, when the solos are happening and when they finish their solo, it's completely appropriate for a round of applause. I will say, don't clap for too long because you might miss a little bit of the next person's, but these guys love it and they deserve the applause for their efforts. So please feel free to do that. Again, our next tune is entitled Moongazer. Thank you very much. We have to make one quick small set change with our drummers. Our final number this evening kind of has an interesting title, Alligator Boogaloo. It was written by the not so famous but great alto saxophone player Lou Donaldson, and it was arranged by a fairly local musician, Terry White, who used to teach up in the Maine area, but has since retired and kind of living his life as a jazz writer and performer. So as soon as we are ready to roll, we're going to end our portion of the concert tonight. We want to thank you for coming out and supporting the kids. They did a great job. How about a round of applause for all the students in the band? And then obviously the students up on stage right now with the jazz ensemble. They deserve a round of applause. I know that Ms. Jakes mentioned a bunch of upcoming events that we have going on in the music department, and I wasn't really listening, but I hope she mentioned to you that next Friday morning we are going to be leaving bright and early to head off to New York City for one day. We're going to go do a little bit of sightseeing and touring, and off to catch a couple musicals at night. So we're going to end the month of March and Music in Our Schools month with a big bang. So again, thank you for coming out. I think I've filled enough time. Am I doing all right over here? Want me to tell a joke? I'm not good at it. You ready, Freddie? All right. Awesome. We will finish up with Alligator Boogaloo. Ensemble. Take a bow, everybody. Thank you very much. Have a wonderful evening. Thank you for coming out. We look forward to seeing you at our June end of the year concert. Thanks, everybody. Have a good evening.
You too. Nice to meet you.